What's up, YouTube? Thanks for coming back for another video. Now, if you recall, in the last video I did, I applied sulfur to this backyard. I did it at a rate of 4 pounds per 1,000 square foot. Now, when I did this, I basically just dropped my spreader settings down as low as it would go, did multiple passes until I was able to completely use up all 8 pounds across the 2,000 square foot backyard. It is pretty well distributed. I can see it kind of out there starting to disintegrate a little bit, but the next step is the citric acid. This did come in on Sunday, the day roughly about the day that I posted the last video, but it was raining out, it was very windy, so I didn't put anything down. I think it's a different story today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to mix this up. I'm supposed to apply it. That bird is really loud. I'm going to apply it a rate of 1 pound per 1,000 square foot. So I'm going to measure this out. I'm going to weigh it with my little kitchen scale that I got that I use for the prodiamine. And I'll put that in a bucket, try to dilute it, and then put it in my Chapin hose end sprayer, and then go across the backyard. Now, since it's 1 pound per 1,000 square foot, and I really don't want to overdo that, what I will do is kind of divide my yard up into 2 sections and do 1 pound mixed up, put that in my hose end sprayer, put that across, and then I will do the other pound, mix that up, and then go across the backyard on the other half. So I'll get that all together, start spraying across. I'll start on probably this back side here, in the back side on where my little hill is, and apply that down. And then as I am finished up with that, I will mix up the other half and start going across the other side. Hopefully this will soften up the lawn quite a bit. I know the pH needed to drop down. As I said in the previous video, I'm at about an 8 right now, and the soil is hard as concrete. I'm hoping to drop that down to at least a 7. That way it's consistent with the rest of the front yard. But if it drops down a little bit lower, 6.5, 6.8, I'm fine with that too. So I'm going to get that spread across. And I do have one other, I'd say, a trick up the sleeve. Now, this was my plan B, and I did mention this before. I believe I did in the last video. I don't remember now. But I did mention doing something like an aerate and the humic acid, putting that across the backyard. That would be considered a compaction cure combo that both, I believe, Pete and Allyn Hane sell. So that's in my back pocket. I was thinking about doing that, maybe even on top of this. I wouldn't hurt anything. Essentially, it's just humic acid, fulvic acid, some sea kelp, and a little bit of potash. So I don't think there's anything there that would interfere with the citric acid. If so, I guess I'll find out the hard way, right? So I am going to get that. Actually, I already bought it today. And reason being, a co-worker was mentioned he had some similar spots in his front yard. He has a very small front yard, like 1,500 square foot, and the rest of his backyard is essentially just all pool and landscape. So he has a 1,500 square foot area to really maintain. But he has some really hard areas that the grass didn't want to grow in. The ground was hard as concrete. He was talking about aerating, but I mentioned the sulfur and the citric acid, and I think that might have been a little bit too advanced for him. He does have an ortho hose and sprayer that he could spray stuff out with the citric acid, but he was worried about burning the lawn. I don't blame him. So I mentioned the compaction cure to him, and he bid on that and said, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm like, tell you what, that was my plan B. If you want to, kind of split it with me, then I'll go ahead and buy it, and then I'll just go across my backyard and some in the front yard, since there's so much product that you can use. With my 15,000 square foot lawn, I'd get like 3.5 applications or so with the compaction cure. So I'll just use it once or twice on my yard, save some of the product, give to him, and then he's going to give me some money toward it. So it makes it a little bit cheaper on my end. I'm all about saving some money. So as I said, I'm going to get this citric acid mixed up, and I am going to get that spread across the lawn. So I got all the citric acid down, and just kind of reiterate what I did was I did a pound per 1,000 of the citric acid. I have 2,000 square foot, so I use about 2 pounds. I used a little kitchen scale to kind of weigh everything out. It was a little more difficult because the scale was kind of small and the bucket kind of overhang the scale, so it was kind of hard to see. But I made it work. And I used, since I did 2 different mixtures to do a pound for each 1,000. The first one I used roughly about 32 ounces of water. I just took a bucket of water and kind of poured into it and mixed it up. I used really hot water just to try to make it dissolve a little bit quicker. So the first 1,000 square foot, I actually filled that Chapin hose end sprayer up 2 times. And the first time when I was going through, I had the dial set to about 6 teaspoons. It took me quite a while to get it sprayed down. So once I ran that out, I actually turned it up to about 10 because apparently my hose end sprayer doesn't go to 11. But I did crank it all the way up, and then the second, I put 16 ounces across that first 1,000 square foot. It went a little bit quicker, but I got everything sprayed down pretty good. And then the second time when I made up, well, I guess it'd be my third time, when I made up the mixture for the other 1,000 square foot, I actually used closer to about 20 ounces, and that still worked pretty good. And then again, I kept my Chapin hose end sprayer turned all the way up to about 10, and went across the yard, that second 1,000 square foot, got that sprayed down, and then I used that last 4 or 6 ounces or so of the solution, put that in there, went over it again a little bit. Once that was done, then I used the water and just went over it a few times. I didn't want to completely soak the yard because it's still concrete back there, so if I start spraying a lot of water down, it would just flood on me basically. So I went over there just with the garden hose, sprayed it down, kind of wet everything down, let it soak in, then went over it again, let it soak in. So I hit it about 3 times to get everything soaked in. So we'll see how that goes. And Thursday, because I just got my email confirmation from Allyn, my compaction cure should be here on Thursday. So maybe that will open things up for me to do a compaction cure combo video before the weekend. We'll see. Depends on the weather, I guess. One thing I did want to show, I did kind of record this part outside, but then it dawned on me I had something else to show downstairs. So this is something that I was starting to put together. So I just got to hold some plexiglass, and so everyone who has sent me stickers, I am putting it up on this piece of plexiglass. Got plenty more room on there. So all the guys who are on here, I will post a link to their website and or channel below in the description. And this one is going to bother me. It is crooked, and I couldn't fix it. As soon as I started to try to pull this sticker up, I felt it was getting ready to rip on me, and I didn't want that, so I'm just going to have to deal with this one being a little bit crooked. But so we've got the lawn form on there. You've got that one cupcake place out in Iowa. You've got Real Low Dad. He actually sent me not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 stickers. Awesome, thank you. You've got Don's Lawns on there. You got The Long Hair Nut, GCI Turf, that's Pete Denny, Gravy Lookout. If you haven't seen his channel, go check that out. He's doing more of an artistic approach with his videos. They're actually really cool, so go check that out. And, of course, don't forget me. So, I believe Mr. Connor Ward, I talked to him yesterday. He was going to send me some stickers out too, so I'll put you right here next to me, Connor, if that's all right with you. So that is all I've got for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.